I'm trying to
Kang
click
is
on
with
it.
us and says, Eric, AEW is so high spot centric that the only way to describe them is that they are the Harlem Globetrotters of wrestling. Is that a
Wow.
fair comparison?
Wow. It's perfect. And I was responding to a tweet somebody made tonight too. And same point. You know, you get a great this is awesome. You get the crowd gets way up for the crazy high spots and they go to sleep until the next one. It's horrible for television. I mean, I was watching the crowd as much as I was watching the action tonight, and that crowd was DOA. They were DOA until there was some crazy high spot. By the way, did that elite match suck or what? Can we talk about how bad that was?
You're talking about Scissor Ace versus the Elite. So it's the Acclaimed and Tanahashi taking on the Young Bucks and Okada. On paper, that seems like a crazy match. You didn't dig it.
It was the shits. If we would have shot that on WCW Saturday night back in 1992 and it was a tape show, we would have either reshot it or not air it. That was fucking horrible. These guys are supposed to be the best. These are representative of the company where the best wrestle. That match sucked. They did not give a shit. They didn't even phone it in. They yelled it from across the parking lot. That was so bad. Am I the only one? I want to hear what everybody else thinks. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's something going on there I just didn't see, but that match was, that was horrible.
I had high hopes for this whole Elite taking over AEW storyline. It doesn't feel like they're putting as much steam behind it. I say that, and yet Jack Perry won the TNT title tonight. But I don't want to see Okada involved in this anymore. Okada, once upon a time, was perceived to be and presented to be one of the most special wrestlers in the world. I mean, the whole presentation was out of this world. And now he's kind of a background guy in all this. And I'm ready for them to transition him out of there. You know, when TNA, I mean, Jeff Jarrett took so much shit for the way Okada was presented when he was sort of comic relief as a number 2. He's comic relief as a number 4 now. And that's before he was Okada. Now we know what he is. I'm ready to see them do some more with him. I mean, I get that it was fun and it's funny, but
no, it's not even funny. It's
gears. I want the old Okada back.
I feel you. You put the Elite, give them an actual office job, teach them how to, work a computer or get coffee or do some shit in the office that actually is an office job because they suck on TV right now. I don't know what the attraction is with these guys, but I didn't see it tonight. They look like they haven't been in a gym in 6 months. Their work was sloppy. It was just it was slightly better than average work.
I saw the poster come out for the Arthur Ashe thing, and that's going to go down in September. They'll be back in New York. That's a big deal for them. It's a cool venue. I'm excited for them. But when I saw the lineup and the stars that are listed, I was sort of taken aback that when you go back and you look at the early days of AEW, which was only 5 years ago, and you look at those graphics when they rolled out and you take a look at them now, the only connective tissue in the OG and now is the Young Bucks. And I would like to see some old Young Bucks. I'd like to see some old Okada. I'm ready for, and I know they got Blood and Guts in Nashville coming up, so maybe we'll put a bow on some of these stories. But as a reminder, we're back to our regularly scheduled programming. It's just the AEW show. We're no longer going to be promoting all these other events for all these other companies and sending talent all over the world. We're back to business, and they're headed towards what is essentially the AEW WrestleMania in about 2 months in Wembley. And that makes us want to ask you, what did you think of the pay-per-view? Did it meet your expectations? We ran a poll here for everybody watching live at 83weeks.com. 30% said yes, it met their expectations. 24% said kinda. And 46%, winning the vote, said no, it did not meet their expectations, but it exceeded yours. This feels like a Saturday Night Live skit. Is the key to life lowered expectations, Eric?
When it comes to AEW, it is.
Oh, come on
No,
now.
I'm absolutely serious. And I know, no, it's not what I say, it's how I say it sometimes. My wife tells me that all the time. But I've finally gotten to the point. I'm not 100%. I'm close to the point now where I cannot get emotional about stuff. Because I've gotten to that point because I realize it doesn't matter. It's never going to change. There's nothing that's going to make Tony Khan likely change the way he's approaching his business. He has no reason to. He has no financial pressure. He's got a $104 million talent budget, reportedly. I don't know if that's a fact. That's just what's been reported. Could be true, could be bullshit. But even if it's in the ballpark, on a company that doesn't tour, that can't put asses in seats, I'm sorry, 4,000 people to a live nationally broadcast wrestling show is not a success story. I don't care who the fuck you are. Sorry, I said it again. I try. I really try.
Get the dump button on him, Silva. You got a dump button over there. Let's start hitting it on Eric. If he can't clean himself up, we'll clean him up.
It's late. I promise it'll be better when it's early in the morning.
Well, keep it going. We'll be here forever. Frank Morano wants to know, I'm still in awe of Ospreay and his workman, the match. Honestly, I'm a casual fan overall. This guy is a superstar. Eric Popcorn Colonel Kearney says, is there any way that this show could have been better? I think you agree on the Ospreay being a superstar part, but if you could change one thing about the show tonight, Eric, what would it be?
I wouldn't mix up the matches. The matches all seem the same to me. The action in the matches, I mean, if I never see, for so long we've been seeing chops. Everybody's chopping. Woo, Ric Flair chop. Woo, because the crowd chimes in. Pavlov's dogs. Woo. It doesn't matter who you are. As long as you're chopping, they're going to give you the Ric Flair woo. Now the new woo is these, forearms to the face. Just stand there and trade forearms. It's the most boring stuff in the world. It takes zero talent. You don't look that tough because it's so obvious. You couldn't crack an egg with those elbows. I'm sorry. Not the kind of guy that loves to break kayfabe, but when it's visually obvious to the people sitting at home, like a 10-year-old can go, why are they doing that, Dad? Maybe move on and find something else to try to make yourself look like, strong style. Because that shit's old. It's been done to death. Nobody cares. Move on.